Welcome back to Matchday Live with me, Cel Spellman. Half-time here at the Etihad Stadium, which looks so beautiful behind me as we begin the defence of our League Cup crown. And it currently stands at Manchester City 3, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Here to get into all the action is Mr. Paul Dickov and Michael Brown. Paul, lots of talking points, but I guess we've got to begin with how great an account have the young players given themselves.
They have. You know, it's been a great game to watch. You know, we've got to give Wycombe their credit as well. We knew they would come and have a go. But the young lads have been amazing. You know, young Wilson Esbrand for me has been the standout performer. You know, I feel quite sorry for the Wycombe right back / wing back because he's getting absolutely tortured between the young kid and Sterling as well. Lavia, two centre halves have done really well up against Akinfenwa. So yeah, and you know, tested their character, going to go behind as well, how they're going to react to it. It was a fortuitous goal that they scored, but I think all five of them can really hold their heads high because they've put in a top performance.
Just quickly on that goal, slightly fortuitous, could we have done any more to kind of stop it, or is it one of those it's tough to kind of defend against?
I think, look, any goal you concede, Brownie will tell you, after having been a manager as well, you'll pick the bones out of it. You know, maybe when Zach's punched it, we could have got out to the ball a little bit quicker to stop the shot coming in, but then it's took a ricochet. Ferran's turned his back a little bit, that's a natural reaction. You know, but the balls took a lucky ricochet straight into the guy's path. It showed great composure as well, you know, to square it. And, you know, it's easy to say now we're 3-1, but it's that fairy tale. You know, you see the Wycombe fans travelling all the way up here. You know, they've had their moment of glory tonight, getting their goal, and it's great to see sometimes.
It really is. And special to not mention on that, the turnout from the Wycombe fans, it's worth saying, is absolutely brilliant. To have come all this way on a Tuesday night, all the admiration to them. But they went to go down, and then City just kind of turned it on a little bit. Was there anything specific you think they'd started doing or weren't doing before, Michael?
I think the intensity came up. I think there was a couple of good opportunities, especially down the right-hand side for Wycombe. I felt like Stewart was really struggling in behind him there. There was some good runs. Foden, especially with that passing range, he was putting in Sterling, he was putting in Kevin De Bruyne. Esbrand as well was getting a lot of space down that side. But we've seen Sterling's chance, Torres' chance. They didn't put the chances away, but ultimately the quality, wasn't it? Kevin De Bruyne actually was questioned for letting one go. It was a poor touch, and I'm surprised that the Wycombe Wanderers fan did that and actually said, here we go, Kevin De Bruyne. And then the finish with that instep, he sees it very, very early. You're looking to think he's going to put the ball across. He spots it through the legs and finishes in the far post. And that's the difference of top-end quality.
And also as well, you know, I think the run beforehand from Foden, you know, from the position that you know, centre midfield, the balance he has, he just seems to now actually starting to see what we're going to get a taste of if the central midfield becomes his role, isn't it, Michael?
For sure, and especially when you have as much ball as you do. So there's no pressure at the front of the pitch for Wycombe, so it allows the fullbacks to come on, some midfield players to get on the ball and get moving it around. So obviously Wycombe kept the shape, but at that point, once the City players getting some great positions, I think they're seeing the runs, the movement was there for all to see. And at that point, Phil Foden, wonderful passes, wonderful range. We've seen him stick one out to Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez's touch, and what about Riyad Mahrez's delivery so far in the game?
Yeah, they have been sensational, of course, as well on the score sheet as well. And it was the assist, you know, executed from the fullback. You both singled out there at our left back. Beautiful ball across, wasn't it?
It was, but it was the composure. I know Brownie said it in commentary. Not just the composure to pick the final pass, to bide his time to actually take the fullback on. You know, we were sitting here watching it, and it's right in front of us. And I was actually watching Pep when he stopped. And you can see Pep drive at the fullback, you know, and his decision making was fantastic. He got that half a yard. A lot of players, never mind young players, playing in this stadium, this occasion for the first time, might have panicked and just lashed it. But
he did well to look up, didn't he? To see at the edge of the area and Riyad Mahrez to wait and not panic.
And the weight of the pass,
brilliant,
made up Riyad Mahrez's mind to run onto it first time. So it was a fantastic play all round and a great finish by Riyad Mahrez.
Little, I mean, I don't know if you want to hear this, Paul, but that means Riyad Mahrez has now overtaken you for goals for City. That puts him in 42.
I can handle that.
You can take that.
I can handle that one, mate. You're not a problem.
Then, of course, as well, there was the third goal, and I think it deserved it for his first half display. That wonder goal from Phil Foden. I mean, what a strike!
I mean, that's what he does, isn't he? Phil Foden. He's been getting the opportunities. We've seen as it fall on the edge of the area. It didn't fall for him, and other chances he's tried to sort of engineer. And even on the edge, he's going left foot, right foot, and Raheem Sterling then takes it, gets his shot away. So ultimately, Phil Foden, you know, he wants a goal. He wants to get back to action, and it's just great to see him back on the pitch.
The technical ability that's been on show from the young players, I mean, even Luke and Bete, for me, his distribution from centre-half has been unbelievable. You're thinking, you know, they're going to be as good, if not obviously world-class, but they seem to be just operating, look too dissimilar from, you know, some of our first-team players, Paul.
It is, but that's the DNA of the club now, you know, that's how they're brought through the system, you know, and it always made me laugh, you know, when people love to point the fingers at Man City and the money they spent in the academy. Keep saying it all, it was never going to happen overnight. You know, we're 10, 11 years into that project now, and it's going to take 6, 7, 8 years to get that academy up and running, to start bringing these players through in the way that Pep wants them and the way Manchester City want them to play. But their technical ability is never in doubt. They would never be at the club if they didn't have that.
Yeah.
But it's having the attitude and the mentality to go out there in the first team match.
A few of them
had
to go as well, though, didn't they, Paul? A few of them on a few physical challenges. They went all the way. And I'm thinking, oh, that's what you want to see. They're brave, and they've tried to, not just with taking the ball, physically they've done well. And I think it's been a real good test to go behind what their character brings. How do they come of it? Kevin De Bruyne, a couple of loose touches. And none of the young players feeling under pressure. Is it not going to be our day? But ultimately they're stuck at it, and you get your rewards.
Do you think it was almost maybe a bit better for the young players? You never want to go a goal down, but actually to kind of see what is the reaction from, you know, going, right, we've conceded, we're all kids here at the back, and then to actually go, well, let's see what we can do after the other side of that.
Especially at this level for the youngsters, they start to learn something about themselves, how they can react, and again being brave, taking the ball. And I think it was wonderful to see the supporters, wasn't it? That the Wycombe supporters get that goal, and then the players react, think, right, here we go. But straight away they were positive, weren't they? Manchester City, quick counter-attacked and straight away back.
I think it's easy to say that now, that it was because we're 3-1 up, you know, if we come in 1-0 down at half-time. But Pep would be delighted. In a way, in a sick sort of way, Pep would have wanted them to be tested, wanted to see the reaction at such a young age, how to come back for it. You know, we said at the very top of this at half-time, the character that they did show. You know, and Betty and Burns, for me, you're up against Akinfenwa, experience, probably one of this, gets called the beast for a reason, doesn't it? Yeah. You know, and he tried to bully them the first 10 minutes, but they worked it out for themselves. They didn't allow that to happen, you know, which is a really good sign.
Fantastic, thank you, gents. We've been getting questions from you via our WhatsApp, which we've added to the show, so you can put our questions to our guests. I really like this question that came in from BL, who's over in California, who says, gents, what player do you think has made the most improvement in the last 2 seasons? Most improved player, what do you think?
You know, that's difficult to say, innit, because they're all top world-class players.
Yeah.
I think last 2 seasons, I mean, Ferran Torres is one that comes to mind, but then he only signed last year, is only coming into his second season. I think possibly Riyad Mahrez.
Riyad had a slow start. I would have expected a quicker start for Riyad Mahrez, and there was a few things happen. But I think the emergence of Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
Do you know, when Kevin De Bruyne missed those games, I think we've really seen someone develop into a top player that wasn't necessarily there, and we're wondering what he was going to bring. So for me, I've really been impressed with his work ethic, his understanding of the game, his desire to play in different positions. So I think he's been
if we're talking about players stepping up to the plate, I think you've got to look at Ilkay last year.
Yes.
You know, Ilkay and Bernardo, when Kevin was out, you know, he got pushed into a sort of more attacking position and ended up being a top goal scorer as well, you know. So there's so many. It's a difficult one to say, because all the players under Pep, 9 times out of 10, they improve their game and they take the game to a different level.
We've been speaking, waxing lyrical about him here in the studio. This one has come from an anonymous person on the WhatsApp, but it says, do you think Phil Foden can win a Ballon d'Or one day?
Look at his ability.
Yeah.
You need the side, you need the team to play in, so you need to deliver a Champions League, a Premier League.
Yep.
And at that point, you're playing, and you're in and around that, you've got every chance as a young player. He's got everything possible to go on. We talked about, didn't we, earlier, about fulfilling a career. And if he fulfills the potential and the desire and the application that he has, then he's right in there with that mix.
Yeah. I'm going to put my head in the block and say yes.
Yeah.
I think he's got everything. Such a young age. He's only going to get better and better playing in this team. To win individual trophies like that, you need the team to be successful. You know, so if City can take that next step, win a Champions League and continue that with the Premier League and into the next 3 or 4 years, he'll be a main part of that. So he's going to have every chance.
You also can't knock as well. Already his major trophies for his age is absolutely unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
People have gone through careers and not even come close. It's mad.
It's ridiculous what he's got already. I remember seeing him then obviously we talk about this final, the Carabao Cup final. He gets a man of the match, and he delivers another try. I think that was 3 or 4 in a league title and this and that. And it's just like, where do you put them? Oh, I'd take them to my family's house and leave them there. And it was just really...
You can bring one over to my house as well and leave it there if you want. All right, before we get into the second half action, Cryptic City time. Now, I say we have it sussed in the studio. Paul Dickov had it sussed in the studio. If you want to get your guesses into Man City, we're going to reveal who has won, or who got it right, should I say, at full time. So come join us after the game.
Is the clue in the last one, is it? Do you think?
Yeah, because that was I couldn't get
That's
that one.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I got...
the second last one, and the first and second. Come on, boys, use your heads, brains.
Did you know who that was, Kel?
No,
the last one?
I didn't know who the last one was. I do now know, yeah.
And do you think if you say it out loud, that's going to give the name away, or...?
Chin.
I think you can say it, can't you?
What? Say the surname?
Yeah. Well, his name.
I don't know. Let me see what does the producer say in the gallery. Say his name. Hill. First name
Jimmy.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure. It was Jimmy.
Jimmy Hill.
Confirmation. It's Jimmy Hill.
I can't believe you don't know.
We just love to give you clues there on the show. Right, get your guesses in. We'll be revealing that at full time. That is our Cryptic City. Gents, what's being said now, do you think, to the young lads? Is it very much just kind of go out, do the same, keep your head?
I think you've set the standard. You carry on. You've had a good reaction. And how do you finish this game? How do you keep setting a tone, keep doing the correct things? And as well, I think maybe a couple of the senior players, we might see some changes because it might allow now with that sort of buffer of the score. So that thing's sort of changed. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity. Go and take every minute of it, these young players, because you don't know when you're going to get the next chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Really. And I think as well that won't be more of the same. It'll be, come on up, take your game. Can you take your game to a different level? And that's the mentality of the club now. You know, that they've done fantastically well, but Pep will be looking not just to sit back now and be happy with what they've done. He'll be wanting to see more from them.
Absolutely. Gents, thank you so much. A quick update as well, of course, on the Premier League trophy game that's going on with our under-21s. City currently trailing 2-1 to Doncaster. 5 minutes to go, but they have hit the post in the last few minutes a couple of times, I believe. So pushing for that equaliser. Hopefully we'll be bringing you either a 2-2 draw or even a win at full time. And we'll be talking about all the next 45 minutes that happen here at the Etihad on that pitch behind me. So 3-1 as we embark on our defence of our League Cup crown. Fingers crossed there'll be a few more goals for us to talk about come full time. The boys are in the tunnel. Michael Brown is going to go off and do the commentary. So we shall see you at full time. Come on, City.